How you guys doing? This is Tori with Sword Guy Builds, and today we're going to do something super dumb. We're going to make the heaviest bullock whip. I certainly wish that I was better at stuff.
I thought I was going to do this in a step-by-step way, like I had done the other things, but I'm just going to do it like after each completed I still got a bunch of copper dust on my fingers. Okay, so all I did was take some polyester paracord that I got at Home Depot in one of these little spools. Hanks, I guess. The inside diameter of these ones is greater than that of the 550 that the nylon 550 that you can get on, Paracord Galaxy or wherever. So I used a little over a foot of that and loaded it with the steel BBs, and now we have a 1 foot core, and we will come back after the next step. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the core covered by the first belly. I'm using a shorter tapering ratio for this belly than I will for the next belly, so that most of the weight will be focused right here when I wax it. So what we're looking at is there is roughly, well, it should be pretty much exactly 1 foot. Yeah, there we go. 1 foot a shot. I sort of tried to like taper off the strands over here, so you can do that like stock whip thing, where I don't know. I'm sure there are people who know that better than I do, but as an experiment, I will do that. So 8 plat to here. When I come off of the BBs, I drop 2 in the middle, plat over that 6 plat, and then I drop 2 and twist 4, twist 3, and then I led 1 inside the other. So we got 4, 3, 2, and then this last bit is just 1 part thick. And that brought it up to about 42 inches. So the second belly is going to bring it up all the rest of the way to 8 feet. All right, so now we've got the second belly all platted up, and what I did was that little tapered tail here at the end, I put a keeper on that. It's opened up to 3/4 of an inch. I put a little keeper on that, 4 parts flat braid going into 8 plat round here, and then from certain angles you can see, but from certain angles you can't, right here, that's where I added in 2 extra strands, bringing it up to a 12 plat. So right here, where it's very fat, that's our shot-loaded core, and that's 12 plat. And then I step down to sequentially. Right here, right here is where the first belly ends, and then we just do a 4-part tapered twist down to the end. I'm not sure if I can get everything in frame here, but you can pretty much see that by center mass, here we go, right around here, it's pretty much already diminished to nothing. Shoot. Which is exactly what we want. I want all of the mass, once I wax it, to be very close to the handle, and that'll keep it flowing really well. I'm still kind of debating whether I want to take it down to 6 plat or take it all the way down to 4 plat for the end. I'll probably take it down to 4 plat, but if I do that, I'm not going to taper the fall. I think I'm just going to put a regular, like, 2 parts thick fall on the thing, because this thing is already going to be loud as piss. So I will get back when I'll get back if there's anything interesting going on in the overlay, or when the overlay is done. All right, so we've got a full 8-foot thong, and let's see, like a 2-foot fall. I did decide to take it all the way down to 4 plat,
Not sure if we can, yeah, you can kind of see it.
So I did do something a little bit special for the fall hitch. Anybody who saw my 3-part terrible bullwhip tutorial knows that for my fall hitches, when I do it the traditional way, I like to take that last strand and lead it back up and then lead it back down just to keep it streamlined, because I don't like having strands coming backward. Those are my sandals. Let me Okay, so I don't like strands coming against the direction of travel, right? So I lead the last one up and then back down, and that locks everything off and keeps everything streamlined. So what I did that was special for this one was I did it with, geez, contrast is really low. I did that for the last strand, and I did it for the first strand. So this one here hitches, goes under all 3, and then it comes back up and goes back down, and the same for the last one. So this should be a balls to the wall tight fall hitch, which is basically what we need, because I feel like there's going to be more power than God behind this whip. So let me think. Putting my sandals back on. So we can see, looking at the finished product, well, okay, obviously it's not finished yet, but the finished thong, we can see that it still has a big ass amount of weight that's going to be centered right here, and then it continues on to next to nothing for the rest of the thong. And I think that is going to make it really to be honest, I've seen other people's bullock whips designed more like that. My lightweight ones, they don't really need this concentration of weight back here, just because they're light, you know? You can crack it and it's still gonna flow, because when we wax this, if we were to use an even tapering ratio or an even tapering scheme through the entire thing, it would get too much weight out in the thong, and you would crack it and then it would jerk. This way, I think it'll minimize that. And what I did here for the keeper, so I made a keeper on that second belly, and then I also made a keeper on the overlay. So this should be super strong. And I'll make a similar one on the handle, of course. But that should give us a really good amount of strength right there. And let's see. Yeah, you can see that I've got diamond plait through here, and then I go into the herringbone, and that's for the rest of it. And that is pretty much everything that we're going to do for the thong. Okay, let's drop this thing into the bath. This is a little like roasting tray that came with this thing, and I use it to keep the whip submerged. And we're gonna wait until all these little bubbling points stop. That'll mean that all the air inside has been replaced with wax, maximizing the thing's density. Up to now, you've probably been wondering something like, okay, what makes this the heaviest bullock whip? Well, I'll tell you what will make it the heaviest. It's this black iron pipe, 5 feet. This is what's gonna make it the heaviest bullock whip. Now, I didn't show it, but I did already make up some fittings for this pipe. So what this is walnut, and this plug will sit down in the pipe, and this part here matches the inside diameter, and this part over here matches the outside diameter, so we'll get a smooth continuum. And the idea is I'm going to plait my keeper on this. I'm probably going to I'm going to just make the keeper and then fold it around the keeper of the thong, and then plait it onto this, rather than make the two pieces completely and separately and then try to mate them later, because I think I made the keepers on the thong too small to do that, but it should be very tight in that case. So this end is going to plug this end of the pipe, sit down in there, and then this piece is going to go in the other end and just serve as like a little knot foundation, you know. I'm probably not going to do anything special with it just because it's, you know, it's just for me. But I'll probably seal them with the wax, maybe, if I can find a good way to do that. So what we're going to do is take all of the oil and the you know, any treatment that is on the outside of this pipe. I'm going to sand that all off and get it down to bare steel, you know, and then probably paint it. I'm still deciding on the color, but we'll see. Alright, so now we got our handle ready for the paracord work anyway. Basically, I sunk the wood plug on this end in there and anchored it with some construction adhesive. This end over here, this is the load-bearing end. You can sort of see right here and right here. I drilled through the steel and the walnut, and I sunk in some little 1/4-inch steel pegs, and I set those with construction adhesive. So this is going nowhere, and down at the other end, that's probably going nowhere, but that won't really be like load bearing. And I spent probably a good hour using vinegar and like scouring pads, getting all of the black oil, that sealant, pardon me, off of the surface of this, and then I just gave it a nice glossy black paint coat, and it feels really solid. I'm excited. So basically what we're going to do over here is I'm going to plait, you know, another keeper, and I'll probably just, like I said before, I'll probably just take the thong and just attach it while I make this layer of plaiting over here, just because it's gonna be easier that way. Alright, so I did blunder slightly, and I'll tell you about it. But I got the keepers mated, and I did, you know, diamond plait for a little bit, transitioned into a herringbone, and it's sort of messy. That's part of what my blunder was. Anyway, I rolled it, and then I lashed it down with a bunch of artificial sinew, and now I'm just starting to cover that up with a French grapevine, so it'll be a little bit more presentable than this. Anyway, what happened, without really thinking about it, I set up my square start for a 32 plait instead of a 24. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyway, I got maybe so far down before I realized it was not going to be tight enough, so I pulled out like 4 strands, you know, reduced it by 8 plait, and then it started going a lot more smoothly. But that is what happened. So I'm covering this with French grapevine, and I'll try to go a little lower than where this ends, and then at the end over here I'm just gonna do like, I don't know, a foot or so of some plaiting. Okay, I think it's basically finished. The lashing that I did up here, I plaited it, then lashed it down, and then I put this French grapevine over it, and I just sort of reversed it a couple times, made it look sort of interesting, and then I went on to the handle end, and I put this, I think this is like a 24 plait, and I started with, there we go, started with a diamond plait, then went into an under 2 over 2, and then I put on this little, well, actually it's pretty big, 8-bite pineapple. So now the only thing it needs is a cracker, and I guess we'll take it from there.
Okay guys, we're finally out here at the park testing out the heaviest bullock whip, and now we're just gonna go ahead and do some test cracks and see how it handles. I guess it came out like pretty good. I'm not overly impressed. It's certainly heavy. I can feel this shoulder breaking down a little bit. I appreciate you guys very much for watching. Please remember to like and comment and subscribe. I'll look forward to hearing from you if you do comment, and I will hope to see you all in the next video.